Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the VR Master League. I am your caster today, Noman with a 4. I'm joined by Sleepy. How you doing today, Sleepy?
I am doing fantastic. It's Saturday, the sun is out, we're still locked inside, but I'm happy anyways.
That is exactly the mindset I'm looking for on this July 4th holiday. Thank you right off the bat for anybody tuning in. We do appreciate you guys spending the morning of your holiday, you know, while the grill warms up and the firecrackers get purchased. We do appreciate you hanging out with us here for what's going to be, I think, a fantastic EU matchup. One that I just had to snag, the only game for Saturday as well. Vikings versus BossFight here in week 1. Sleepy, what are your thoughts on these two teams? I mean, we're going to have to get into bands, so make it quick, but what are your thoughts here?
They're both top-tier teams coming out of the EU side, both performing well in postseason last season as well. They've been back and forth throughout the year since season 4. Between seasons 4 and 7, BossFight was actually taking every time they met up. Then season 8 comes along, and Vikings are all of a sudden the top dog, and they're winning every time these two match up. So interesting to see what BossFight is going to bring to the table here now that they've got their old guard back in the realm of Radarhead and Lonely Viper. So adding that aggression and new sense of teamwork back in. And, you know, I'm excited to see how this matchup goes. We've got our first map already, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about the bans really quickly before we get into that. So from our home team, they are going to be banning Quarantine against BossFight. Actually, a very smart choice, BossFight being a very strong team on that map. And then BossFight going to be banning Tanker against Vikings. And anyone who's watched the Vikings play Tanker, you know why they've sought that ban out. And interesting, a little bit of information about our first map, Noman. Vikings chose to select sides on this first map, being the home team. So BossFight is actually going to have chosen our first map, which is going to be Cargo. So hoping to see some really intense, quick-paced action here in these first few rounds.
Yeah, you gotta love starting on Cargo, right? You get the blood pumping quickly, short runs, lots of technical equipment usage, lots of very quick caps. I think these teams just want to get out the gate swinging, and honestly, I cannot fault them for it. I am excited to see this matchup between these two teams. We saw it in the postseason, right? Last season in season 9, and these teams played really well. Vikings, unfortunately, had suffered a roster change. They were missing a member or two. In fact, I think they were missing their team captain, if I'm not mistaken. And so they didn't quite perform to the levels that we've seen before, right? In season 8, they performed quite well. They were in the semifinals, and I believe even did they make the finals there? I don't know. My memory isn't quite as good as it used to
be. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think they had a mix of roster and just like real life problems. I think it was their team captain who was stuck at work or something on the weekend of a particular stage of the tournament, and that unfortunately was a downfall for them, as they had some other issues going on as well. But
I'm ready to see what the refreshed and unimpeded Vikings roster is able to do here against what was a very strong BossFight. I mean, obviously, my team Blaze had the pleasure of going up against them in last year's postseason matchups, and I mean, first of all, what a blast to play them, and second of all, really a tough team, a difficult team to really get anything going on sometimes. Like once they sort of get on their roll, oh my gosh, it is a challenge to stop Radarhead and Lonely Viper and team from doing some serious damage out on the field. So I'm excited to see how these two come head to head in what is going to be the first, I believe it's the first casted EU match of the season. So, keeping up with our firsts in this week. And I'm just excited to get this underway. So we're going to let the teams know that we're all ready here. It's time to kick things off. Any predictions on, well, let's just start with the map. I'm not going to make you go 3 maps deep here, Sleepy. What's your prediction on Cargo? Who do you think is going to eke this one out?
I want to say BossFight's got my advantage here because I feel like they can be more comfortable playing aggressive than Vikings are, and I think this map lends itself to some aggressive favor. We see a lot of times the very aggressive charge in and try and cap plays end up working because the defense just can't quite put together what's happening fast enough, especially if it's a team that's used to playing against someone who's going to come in a little bit more slowly. They're not going to be as used to rotating off their positions and into a cross angle spot or an approach angle spot. So, it'd be interesting to see. I'm not saying Vikings are going to be an easy rollover here for BossFight. No, not in the lightest. But I do think that BossFight's aggression or ability to use aggression will come out to their advantage here.
I hope that is indeed the case. I'm gonna go with Vikings. I'm gonna spice it up a little bit. I'm gonna say Vikings have spent a little bit of time dissecting, the BossFight play style, that speedy play style, and I have a feeling they're gonna have some tricks up their sleeve. At the very least, I'm hoping that they're gonna have some tricks up their sleeve. But if you harken back to what they were like in sort of intro of season 9 as well as most of season 8, I mean, that's really when they sort of exploded onto the scene. They've got the capability, they've got the talent, they've got the coordination, they've got the teamwork. They just have to put it all together in a nice neat little package and bring it out onto the field with them this time. And I'm gonna say that they absolutely can do that. Hoping season 10 is gonna be their year, because who doesn't love a shakeup? Everybody loves a little shakeup in the standings and in the rosters every season, and that's going to be my vote. I believe I even voted for them in the postseason of last season as well. So definitely, I'll wait for my Vikings jersey, Nalik. I'll just DM me later, and I'll give you my address. So don't worry about it. But I've let the teams know that we are good to go. We are just showing that one of the members of Vikings is not quite in the lobby just yet.
Coincidentally, it's our original host, Nalik.
So what we're going to do is just pop to a quick intermission before the rounds kick off here, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. The timer likely won't even burn down before we get a full lobby here, but we will see you guys in just a few moments once the action kicks off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the patience here on this July 4th holiday, as we got all 10 members of this game in the lobby now, getting ready to go. We're just going to give them their requisite 60 seconds to, bring their teammate up to speed here on their strategies. That's what these teams do before each and every round. Given a minute and a half to discuss strategies, plan on a little whiteboard with a drawing of the map, and figure out their routes. So we'll give them their time to do that, but we are about to get ourselves into round 1 of map 1 here on Cargo of this Vikings versus BossFight matchup that honestly I am, the longer I wait, the more excited I get. So and the better it has to be, right? That's
it better be.
That's the rule. That's the rule. Is the longer you wait, the better the game is. So considering we've been waiting quite a few minutes, this game should be excellent. That's the logic I'm going to stick with. You can't tell me otherwise.
Yeah, again, I'm excited to see how BossFight is going to compete against Vikings again now that, Radarhead and Viper are back. And we said this a little bit earlier on in the show, but, those two, well, one, they have this inert chemistry between one another, but they also have this really solid chemistry with the rest of the team. I mean, they spent many seasons on it and helped form the team in its early days and helped make it what it was, which was always a top tier EU team. So to see them having backslid a little bit after the loss of, Radar and Viper with their own personal life things coming in the way and, having them have to back out, I'm excited to see how this matchup's going to turn, because as we said, in the history, BossFight won up until Season 8, and when Season 8 came along, Vikings were just a new monster, and ever since then, they've just been winning every matchup between the two since.
They have indeed, yeah. It's shown across all of their games, right? It's not just that they've been beating BossFight, in the previous few seasons. They've been really just dominating the EU League. They've taken down beginners more than once, in regular season already. Which is no easy feat, as I'm sure most teams will tell you. So it really shows their dedication and hard work has paid off, but they need to sort of rekindle that flame, because they've definitely missed a step. Season 9 ending was not quite what they wanted, I'm sure. But we wait no longer, as gameplay is underway. Round 1 of map 1, Vikings on defense, BossFight on offense. Let's go. Now
let's see the hype in the chat, boys. And round 1's underway. Mantis here looking for the crossover to the right. Highfish, though, going to find a connection in the center onto Nalik with a little bit of early aggression. They've pushed up here into the center. And this is what I was talking about. BossFight able to ride this aggression. They know how to work with it, more so than I've seen in many of the other EU teams.
Another one dead.
There it is. Scooby-Doo going to find a second in the long look down the tunnel peak.
Yeah, it has been a quick start for Vikings, but a little too, overly aggressive, overly peaky, and the shots ring out there for a trade. Mantis and Highfish taking each other out, and we're down to 2 Vikings left. Here comes the drone. The trademark Scooby-Doo drone on Cargo.
Man, he's getting really good with that thing. He's like a drone league pilot over here.
Yeah, he is just cruising around. We're following the drone here a little bit. Try not to give anybody any flying sickness, but yeah, he is scoping out all of the different defenders' position. I mean, this is a very good use of this drone. I don't think it's not used enough. I don't think.
Nade from Viper, long distance, thanks to the help of the drone, but unfortunately, it was also Lone Miyagi rotating out of that building, which actually put him in danger. He would have been fine had he just stayed inside, but Phoebe Funky's going for the res as BossFight closes in on the front side at the map. Another flash comes out from Viper as he tries to slow down Miyagi. Phoebe now on OBJ. Scooby-Doo's gonna find him on the outside. He's gonna wrap back around towards the center, no pressure. It's out down to Lone Miyagi, and Lonely Viper will find the pick onto Miyagi. as he crosses back towards the objective. And BossFight will take round 1 here on Cargo.
Yeah, that was a great round for BossFight, but I felt like Vikings really just played into their hands that whole round, right? I mean, they lost a couple early. They kept sort of rotating and peeking and getting out of position. Getting caught by that grenade was obviously no good thing for the Vikings either. And yeah, BossFight just kind of systematically picked them apart. And here we are with BossFight taking the first round away from Vikings, and the sides will now swap. So Vikings on the offense for that same objective. BossFight on the defense. We'll see if they can keep things even here.
So I will say it could honestly be either one of these two teams coming out with this first map. Noman, right before we kicked off and during that last intermission, I happened to pull up the common maps history between these two teams, and it appears that while BossFight does maintain a statistical advantage, having won Cargo 58% of the time, BossFight or Vikings isn't far behind. They've won 42% of the time, so it's quite a neck and neck battle here. And these stats are good since season 5, so that's a good 4 seasons worth of stats on this map between these two teams. And you know, it really could be anyone's game. But BossFight, they're here on round 1, securing that Marsoc round, that attack round, is going to be very advantageous to their position. Because as we know, Vikings took defense on purpose in order to, I'm assuming, try and maintain all of those Volk advantage points that they can by defending versus attacking. But either way, we're back into action here as we roll into round 2. BossFight now on defense. Vikings going to see if they can make their conversion on Marsoc.
Yeah, they're going to need to do that. And of course, Cargo is a Marsoc favored map in a lot of situations. So still a good chance for Vikings to sort of keep in step with BossFight here as things kick off. The smokes come in early. We've got an aggressive rush here coming out from Highfish on the east side of the map. He's looking for a pick. If he'd have popped out a little earlier there, he would have grabbed Mantis. Oh, he still has the chance.
I don't think they're chancing it right now because of all the smokes in the center. They don't want to risk the push. Highfish pops out, finds one. Femi trying to put the pressure back onto Highfish, but he's unable to connect.
That was a great play there. Just a little poke, grabbed a pick, rotated out, not in danger, not getting greedy with that situation. I mean, look at all this smoke and fire on the objective as Vikings continue to rain the equipment down on top of it. Lonely Viper is going to find Mantis on that eastern side as well, and just like that, it is a 5v3. Uncle Sam and UC Death, yeah, they're trading out 4v2.
Intense Viper gonna snag another one on Lone Miyagi, left side of the center 1 building. Femi Fungi gonna find one on Lone Viper, and Highfish quick to refrag, and BossFight gonna take their Volk round almost as easily as they took their Marsoc round. Holy. So I want to talk about something really quickly, and I think it's something that the Vikings are going to need going forward. And I don't mean this to sound, you know, condescending, but you cannot throw that much utility and then not move on it. You just can't, because you're going to have nothing at the end of the round. You're going to have nothing even mid-late round. You saw a couple of late mid-round smokes come out from the Vikings there as they tried to attack, but nothing really advantageous to their situation. It might have helped get one across, but I mean, BossFight was ready for that that kind of left push from the Marsoc team, and I don't know, if you're going to use that utility, you got to utilize it. You can't just throw it, because BossFight also ran in and relocated a lot of those smokes when they had the opportunity. So
yeah, using that kind of equipment, especially in mass, right? When you're tossing a bulk of equipment, it doesn't really serve much purpose to then not utilize the cover that it provides, because you're creating basically like a small segment of a map that you can move into with, you know, relatively less danger. And what we saw there was all of the equipment utilization was centered around the objective, but the fighting and the kills were happening on the fringes of that equipment, right? They were happening on the edges of the map as Vikings was trying to come in. And they weren't coming in really anywhere near where the equipment actually was laying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can look at where the death markers are on the map from the previous round and see that the only two people that died near the objective were the defenders.
Viper, watch High Fish's back. Viper, watch High Fish's back.
So here is BossFight's attempt at the southeast objective at the propane tank here on Cargo as we get into round 3.
Now, this will be interesting to watch to see how both Vikings and BossFight utilize their teamwork, their equipment, so on in this round. You can see early smokes here out from the Vikings as they're going to try and get across over to the objective side. I've never quite understood why the spawn is across this very open lane. You know, that's a conversation for another day. They are going to try and cover themselves across, but BossFight not really going to try and let that happen as Free Fire comes out from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it is a challenging cross to make. It's a challenging shot to make as well, though, so I can kind of understand giving the offense a bit of an advantage early on, but then, of course, once the defense gets there, they're very difficult to unroot when they get into positions like what Mantis, Uncle Sam here have. Sort of covering from the backside. Yeah, Highfish pushed up in the middle very early on, but then kind of slowed up a little bit, and the rest of BossFight hasn't joined him, so I'm not...
Yeah, he should slow up.
I'm not entirely sure what the play here is, but it looks like, yes, the drone will come out and try to give Highfish some intel as to where he can make some picks, and just like that, the drone is knocked out by the Vikings defense, and that's probably the most beneficial thing that's happened to them so far in these 3 rounds.
Yeah, I was going to say that drone could actually be very, very beneficial to Highfish, as he could have used that very loud sound of the props on it to cover his own movement and get a kill onto maybe Femi. There we go, UC Death finding it, getting killed there. In the meantime, Femi Fungi are going to pop out now and find Scooby-Doo. Highfish had the opportunity to come around and see him. No, he's patiently waiting. Is he going to push? He will, but it's too late. Femi's going to catch him first. He's going to come around on the chase. He's going to find Highfish in the back.
And there it is. Lonely Viper will clean up Femi Fungi after he does take out 2, though.
Yeah.
Pretty solid pickup for him, and I was surprised Highfish didn't turn around there. He didn't hear the shots. He didn't rotate for the damage. I mean, it was an interesting call to rotate and not look behind you there, and ultimately led to his demise. Now Viper and Radar here. The Dream Team going to have to deal with Nalik and Miyagi in the back line, as there are only 2 members of BossFight left. I mean, that was exactly what... Oh, a fantastic C4 will find Lonely Viper down and out.
And now he's just adding insult to injury there. The flash went off on a dead body, and then he pumped it full of lead. Radar head here, as he was trying to come in and support the backside of Viper, just a little too slow on that rotation. And now Nalik's going to try and get the peek under the door. Is he going to be able to see Radar head sitting here next to these boxes? He's not looking in that direction. Lasers are training. It looks like Radar head's trying to see it, but Nalik's going to find the shot first, and Vikings will find their first point here on Cargo and hold solid defense as they defend that southeast objective.
Yeah, and that was exactly what they needed off the back of that really nice play early on by Femi, picking up 2, riding that wave out, that fantastic C4 kill. It really just worked out exactly as Vikings wanted it to, and taking down that drone, I think, was integral. You see what happens when you take away their ability to scout these positions early on. Vikings were definitely able to keep some element of surprise as the rest of the BossFight push happened, and just like that, Vikings are able to grab themselves a win. They're not a team to count out. They have their fair share of comebacks, and they're definitely not a team that quits under the pressure of adversity. So, not surprised to see them take a round here, and I'm kind of thinking they might even take this Marsoc round here, because you know, the objectives themselves on these maps can very heavily favor one team or another depending on the play style they're bringing out that day. And maybe Vikings are feeling good about this particular objective. We'll see if they have an offensive response to their defense as well.
Well, you better get a little more positive for your boys Vikings, because you did kind of choose them for winning this first map.
Oh, I did. Hey, listen. They're gonna be. They're gonna be there.
You sounded a little faulty.
They're gonna be there.
You're faltering a bit on your
They're gonna show up. Okay.
BossFight, my faith in you has never faltered.
Well, it's going to be an interesting match nonetheless. Regardless of what Sleepy and I say, it's going to be a great match.
Irregardless of what happens.
Don't you do it.
I did it.
All right, round 4 is underway, so I can get away from Sleepy's painful words in my ear.
If Sleepy happens to go silent, it's because his girlfriend came out and assassinated him for using that word. Absolutely makes her skin crawl. Anyways, we're here, round 4, boss fight on the defense. Shots ringing out early from both sides as they try and prevent anyone from crossing over here. Boss fight not able to get anyone across over to the objective yet. But not too much worry because Vikings haven't really pushed too far forward either.
Yeah, all the boss fight defense is just concentrated by these boxes, and such a common... I was just going to say, a common grenade spot as the grenades rain into this position. Not quite. They're literally right in the middle of all of the boss fight members that Vikings wanted down, but not going to work out for them as Scooby does successfully make the cross to the objective, and now more...
Ooh, that long-range nade's gonna be good! Radar Head with a bomb finds Femi across the map, but the res is gonna come out quick as Nalik runs in to find it.
Yeah, really nice toss there. Just caught the tail end of it.
But like almost the entire length of the map.
That was a fantastic toss. Hey, a down is still important. It means that the next time they get shot, it only takes 1 bullet to take them out. They've got
not only that, but they've also wasted one of that team's, syringes, meaning 1 less possibility of a res to come out. Especially in those late round seconds where they're most needed, where if you got a guy down, he's screwed. Like he can't do anything. High Fish and Uncle Sam trading in the meantime with some peeks under the doorway. A lot of peeky boys here. Everyone peeking under the doorways. I can't really lay down that well with my Rift S headset. That Halo doesn't provide very much suppressive fire coming through. High Fish gonna get rezzed by Radar Head and Nalik, the #1 medic for the Vikings, to res Uncle Sam.
Yeah, they've got him up now. Back to a 5v5 yet again. We've seen the roster number go down as a few have gone down already, but everybody's back up. Vikings now 4 minutes left on this offensive push, and they're gonna have to, start figuring out what their approach is gonna be.
Mantis here, the point man, leading up the charge. Stealthily made his way forward. But it seems that this boss fight defense is really prepped for that newer meta that had evolved of coming around this eastern flank and then pushing across the map. UC Death gonna find Femi as he tries to cross. Some nice cover fire. Mantis, though, still on this point approach. Radar Head, I believe, hearing it. Mantis gonna have heard Radar's voice, and he'll find the pick onto Radar.
It was a nice little quiet play, just waiting for it. Is he gonna be ready for High Fish? He is. He pushes out, grabs 2. Lonely Viper getting picked up by Nalik, and just like that, boss fight is down to 2. Vikings looking real sharp here on their push to the objective. Just UC Death and Scooby-Doo left. Smoke's now coming out on this east side. Will they be able to push through? UC Death now having to deal with Mantis and Nalik together on the west. Going to be a challenging defense.
It is. I feel like the only way UC Death's really going to come out of this scenario is to just have the reflexes of a cat. Oh, and he's going to find 1. Will Mantis rotate out of the back now to look for UC Death? No, he's going to go front. UC Death's going to tuck in behind the ammo crate. Uncle Sam is just out of UC Death's sightline, but he'll never know it until he crosses past.
2 minutes left. Some equipment coming out. UC Death does know where this push is coming from. Hopefully he's communicated it to Scooby as well. Scooby's going to have to deal with Uncle Sam in the middle there.
He's going to catch... Oh, he barely misses the push out from UC Death. UC Death's going to go for the look, and Mantis will pop out at the right time. Now it's all up to Scooby-Doo as Mantis, but no, the trade comes through. Uncle Sam and Scooby-Doo trade. Vikings find their 2nd point. We're all tied up here on cargo.
Let's take a look at that little 3-man pick that happened. Nalik picks up 1, pops out, grabs a 2nd, and then Nalik cleaning up Lonely Viper on the inside. That's a 2-man, 3-person pickup right there, and that was exactly what gave Vikings the boost they needed to get them that round win. And now we got ourselves a game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this is exactly. I mean, you and I talked about this game late last night when you asked if I wanted to cast it with you, and I asked who it was, and you said Vikings and BossFight. I'm like, oh yeah, put me on that match. As long as it's not at like 9 a.m. in the morning, I am definitely up for casting that, because this is exactly the kind of thing that we're going to get. We're getting a lot of great plays coming out from both sides. A lot of individuals, VIPs showing their stuff here, really strutting it out with some nice kill runs. Overall, the teams are very well balanced, and it's showing. I mean, the score is locked up. Both teams have managed to get both a defense and an offensive rounds. I mean, it can't get much closer than what we've got right now.
Yeah, and we've seen the swing go both ways, right? BossFight taking the first two pretty commandingly. Huge player count at the end. Big difference there. Just really strong plays that Vikings weren't able to sort of dissect. And now we've seen it go the other way, where BossFight kind of fell apart in those last two, defense and offense attempts. And Vikings able to sort of dominate that objective, and that's exactly what I was talking about. I think some objectives definitely favor a particular team and their play style and their strategies. So we're seeing that come out in a big way, but we're going to be seeing a whole lot more because round 5 is underway now.
Pew, 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 pew. Sound effects.
BossFight on the offensive. And the drone is out early.
Already out.
Yeah, it's out early.
Get out of my head, Newman. And it's down early. They didn't get any information off of that.
Maybe Nolek's position. That's just about it. You only get the person who shoots it down if it's that early. Nolek priming that C4. He's got it in hand. Probably waiting for any sort of information that they're trying to push into this center corridor. Nice little nade toss there. We'll go too short to be effective. Scooby-Doo and Highfish trying to clear the long east lane. And there's Nolek a little too early on the C4. BossFight more patient than I think he had anticipated. Grenade as well, not going to find any love, but Highfish will find some love as Mantis goes down in the back line there. And that's going to leave Vikings with 60 seconds burned off the clock.
Yeah, BossFight definitely holding back on this aggression a little bit this time around. Not as much of a forward push, not digging in as much. They're actually slowing down quite substantially here. And I don't know if that's because they have no intel off the loss of Scooby's drone out of the gate. But now we're seeing some movement here. 4 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. Scooby's now just outside of the building next to Nolek. And all that's going to do is really give Nolek kind of a safe position to give calls from until he's finally discovered with that intel.
Yeah, they just slightly misread Nolek's position there from that C4 and that grenade coming out. Nolek now going to get a little bold. He sees that smoke sort of like flashing through. Maybe he knows somebody's holding it. He's going to take his time on this corner, but this is going to be huge if he can pick up Scooby-Doo here and potentially Highfish. He does find the back of Scooby. Shots ring out to Highfish. He finds 2. UC Death looking for the refrag. He's not going to find it. Nolek tucks in. He's got to reload. UC rotating around to the other side.
He doesn't have to reload. He's just safety reloading.
He's going to try it anyway. UC Death looking for the corner. Nolek now takes the shot. Oh, I think he ran out of bullets. I don't think he racked one in. Nolek looking to get that frag onto UC Death. He pops out, does find it. And Nolek grabbing 3, BossFight down to just 2 early on in the round. Let's take a look at that first series of 2 he picked up. A really nice little pick. And there it is. Radar head catching him rotating out just like that. Nolek going out, but not before he does quite a bit of damage to that BossFight front line.
Yeah, that was, I think BossFight saw a little bit too much red there. I think UC Death got a little too target fixated. I think he needed to hold up a second, call in for a little backup from Radar Head or Viper, and then try and attack Nolek. Because unfortunately, he really just kept feeding Nolek kills. But kudos to Nolek there. His aggression actually paying off a little bit. His boldness, we should say, actually paying off, because that was very risky for him to push out from around that very sneaky position that he had in order to pick up Scooby-Doo and then find another, and then to get UC Death, who was seeing red or just very aggressive, wanting to go for the revenge on his teammates.
Lonely Viper there, almost not getting his shield up in time as Miyagi takes a few shots out. Radar just barely escaping Femi's view as well. A couple of lucky breaks there as the nade comes out. Lonely Viper, though, with a fantastic pick onto Miyagi, and the nade response will actually find Lonely Viper. Radar hit on the revive, but oh man, had he got down and out off of that, what an absolutely insane trade that would be.
Yeah, it would. It would have been, but you know, it's impressive enough that BossFight have been able to kind of turn this back around and go from a 5v2 back to a 2v2. Granted, Viper has now gone down, so any other hit that he takes, he's pretty much done for. But you know, they can still do quite a bit here. They can use Viper to get some information if he's safe with his shield play, and Radar Head can reposition and find the picks completely unknown. And I'm pretty sure Vikings may not have a good kill count.
Yeah, I don't know how much Nalek was able to communicate there of his 3 picks. I would imagine he maybe called in 1 or 2. I doubt he called in that final. Actually, you know what? He might have called in that final one as well. So, not entirely sure they wouldn't have communicated that much. Lonely Viper with the botched flash. Unfortunate little toss there. That's going to keep him blinded. Now Uncle Sam knows exactly where he is. He's rotating out of the danger zone. Smoke's coming out from Lonely Viper as he takes on a little bit of gunfire here. Crosses just out of sight of Uncle Sam, and Radar now pushing the middle.
It's a nice plant there. That smoke was good. Radar Head is in a good position if Femi gets too aggressive, but Viper's going to find the shots first. Uncle Sam's rotated towards the objective. Is Radar Head going to find the shot in time? No, Vikings will find the pick in the back. And Vikings take the lead on the map for the first time in our series as we go into what could be the final round here on Cargo. Vikings with a possible comeback.
They have gone 3 unanswered points since those first 2 rounds where BossFight dominated, and now BossFight's losing a little bit of ground. They're not able to make their connections when it comes to refrags, right? That's where they're missing a big chunk of their battle here. And Vikings are just doing a really good job of pushing these, you know, interesting positions and forcing 1, 2, or 3 members of BossFight into these crazy gun battles that they just happen to be losing. And that's giving Vikings the fuel they need. It's keeping their defenders safe. It's keeping the sort of final offensive push safe until sort of the back half of the round. And they've just been doing it consistently now for 3 rounds. And yeah, we're going into what could possibly be the map 1 deciding round here if Vikings is able to convert on Marsoc. But BossFight does have, you know, whatever you think there is an amount of Volk advantage. They have that amount of Volk advantage here on this Cargo round. So we'll see if that's going to help them tie things up, or if Vikings will run away with 4 unanswered points here on map 1 and take us to an exciting map 2. I am pretty bummed that Quarantine is not on the list.
Yeah, I know. Like my favorite map, especially to cast because it's just so open. You don't have to worry about ceilings and things, so we can always jump to the action more quickly. But you know, there's still some really good maps on the table that could be coming up. I think we're gonna definitely see a Snow Peak here in the future, because both of these teams do like the larger maps that require a bit more coordination and tactics. And since Quarantine's off the books, and I doubt we'll see it as Downfall, I think we'll see Snow Peak. But either way, we're here into the 6th round now. Lone Miyagi. I keep wanting to call him Miyagi because of the Legionnaires player Miyagi. Lone Miyagi with some early pre-fire in the round for Vikings as they push up now. Femi on the early attack push.
Yeah, he's up here in the east. This is a good position for the early sort of aggressive defensive flank spot, right? You don't need to push any further than that because you're just waiting to see if any defender is going to get caught out. But taking a look at the overhead map, almost every single BossFight member is behind the objective in the north. I mean, there is no one pushed up past the defensive line here on the objective at all. And it's not entirely necessary, to be honest with you. With this objective, it's just so much easier to defend it from that side. A nice little frag there will clear the C4 that the defenders had set up. That's going to make that approach a little bit easier. And now a little bit more equipment utilization.
Will they have noticed, though, the additional explosion effect? That C4, that very vertical dust cloud, that of particle effect that there is from the C4 explosions.
I think the sound gives it away, doesn't it? I think it still explodes with the C4 sound.
True. Yeah, it does have a deeper explosive sound.
Gimme Fungi. He's pushed up in the east now. He's sending a little bit of pre-fire down to the common spots, but BossFight not tucked in there. Scooby the only one going to be looking for a very cheeky little position here. You can see his face peeking out under the door, long range, looking to try to grab somebody pushing through the east. If Femi rotates back in, he could be in danger. The frag, poke and hope from BossFight not going to work out on the west side either, and we're still in 5v5, 2 minutes burned.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. BossFight definitely has their distance frag throwing locked. That team can really chuck a grenade. But I also see that BossFight's taking a more reserved defense here in regards to this objective in terms to compare to other teams. Like, a lot of other teams would have a lot more forward aggression in their defense and it be pushed out a little bit more towards the midfield. But BossFight's really hanging back, and they don't need to push out much farther because the objective is so far north that they have to come across some very common grounds.
Oh.
Viper there with a nice nade onto Nalik.
Fantastic nade, but the res does come out nonetheless. And Mantis with the first actual pick here. Downs radar head in the back right east corner, the northeast corner of the map. He is down and out, and now it is just 4. BossFight not looking good here. They're going to need to find at least 2 picks, swing things in their favor. And you see Death now sending a few rounds down the mid. Scooby sending equipment utilization. It is a fantastic grenade as he takes Mantis and Femi Fungi out of the equation. Now it's Nalik, Lone Miyagi, and Uncle Sam pushing through all together, and they will team up on High Fish. Uncle Sam finds Lonely Viper in the backside. Now it's just Scooby-Doo and UC Death defending the objective. Uncle Sam may not be ready for Scooby's rotation. The trade comes out. He was ready just enough.
Ooh, UC Death getting dangerous out there, running from his safe positioning there. UC Death now looking back towards the objective. Lone Miyagi's going to be coming through the tunnel. Oh my, he's going to miss his opportunity, miss another. Here comes 2 at once, and they're going to trade, but Nalik was on the objective, ready to go for the cap. Vikings take map number 1. Noman, you were right. BossFight unable to stop the Viking train from pulling out of the station, and that was their map choice.
That was their map choice, and yeah, that was the sort of the double benefit there for Vikings, right? They got to pick Volk, yeah. They got to beat BossFight on their map choice. Now they go to their own map choice, and we will see what that choice is here in a minute. But a fantastic series from the Vikings here in the first map.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And just as a quick reminder, as we roll into map number 2, our bans are, as you see on the scoreboard. Quarantine is the ban from Vikings, and Tanker the ban from BossFight. And well, it wasn't quite the map I chose, but Noman, it looks like Subway will be our second map.
Subway is indeed the map that we're going to be going to here for map 2, and I'm not surprised, honestly. This is a pretty classic BossFight pick. It looks like BossFight did pick into this one. It looks like Vikings is going to retain their Volk choice. So BossFight picking into this map as well, and I know they love that. You know, of course, Lonely Viper running that shield, him and Radar together do some very good work, and they tend to gravitate towards these largely shield effective maps. Right, they like the subways, they like the cargos, they like the even the suburbia to a degree.
Bazaar.
Bazaar, exactly. A lot of very good sort of tight corridor, long and short lane type maps where that sort of shield play and teamwork, and of course using a drone in an unconventional map situation, which I'm sure we'll see here right on the first round. I think it's going to be a very technically interesting map, right? I think we're going to see a lot of interesting utilization of the smokes and flashes and frags along with that shield, and I'm excited to see how BossFight pushes some of these objectives. We've seen some really great plays last season, especially in the postseason from BossFight on maps like Subway, and Vikings definitely going to have their work cut out for them here, but we saw that they could come back. 4 unanswered points at the end of that map to get them cargo. See if they can pull something similar off here on map 2.
Yeah, it looks like there may be a possible roster change on the side of BossFight. We are waiting on one of their players to return to the lobby.
In the meantime, I'd like to thank all of the viewers that have tuned in today. Thank you guys for joining us on this July 4th holiday. I know there's all kinds of family and barbecue and libations being enjoyed today, and hopefully everyone's having a safe and happy July 4th. With everything going on right now, definitely challenging to throw big parties, but hopefully everyone's enjoying their more quarantine, more relaxed July 4th holiday.
Yeah, more
and
contained.
We're happy to be bringing you some kind of entertainment. If you are missing that human interaction, we're here for you on the Onward Master League here. And it's still early. You still got to fire up the grill. You got to marinate the steaks. There's so much work to do. So we're glad you've chosen to hang out with us instead and let someone else do that work.
And if you are going to be having folks over, even if it's just a few, maybe throw on the Onward VR Master League up on the old TV. Have folks come over and watch some games with you. Maybe they'll be interested and tune in for their own. Maybe they'll go get a headset and join you for the next season. You never know.
That's right. The Quest version of Onward is coming, so now will be the time to get people addicted early. Yeah.
26 days. 26 days, folks, we will have it on the Quest. We'll have an updated version of Onward, which, fingers crossed, and all luck to the dev team that everything goes smoothly for them. The big 1.8 drop, the smoothness patch, the prettiness 2.0 patch, if you will. I really hope that everything comes out and goes very smoothly. I hope the players have exactly what they want as far as competitive integrity with the game and lack of bugs and lack of hiccups and things like that. And I hope the devs still feel like their game is being represented well overall. But also big shout outs to all of our sponsors here while we have an opportunity to take a break. We have a few new ones coming along this season in Haptics and Cyber Shoes. So if you haven't had a chance to check them out, be sure and pop over to their website or check them out on their socials. Haptics and Cyber Shoes, some great products from some interesting tech in the VR scape. Also, of course, the tried and true VR cover and ProTube VR, and of course our music sponsor, Fixed Gaming. If you're a streamer and you're out there and you're worried about all these DMCA strikes going around YouTube and Twitter and Twitch, check out Fixed Gaming. They have a library of a lot of stuff that is cleared for use in the broadcasting and streaming world. They have a great selection of various types of tracks. So go and check them out as well. But a big shout out to them, our sponsors, and again to all of you who decided to join us here today. I'm glad you're getting the type of matchup that you signed up for, because I know I am.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic series so far. Both teams playing very well. Vikings just able to eke out a cargo victory there, I'm sure, to BossFight's surprise. And now we're into Subway. I don't know. I think let's talk predictions since we're here and we have a little bit of time as we wait the teams to ready up. Who are you thinking for Subway here? Are you going to go Boss? I'm kind of leaning BossFight this time, if I'm going to be honest. What are you thinking here, Sleepy?
I'm gonna just stick with BossFight. I can't deny that Vikings are playing hell of a good game right now, and do I think they still have the potential to just close out the series and win it? Absolutely. But I'm gonna stick with BossFight because I don't think they're done here. I think they chose this map for a reason. Like you said, they definitely like to prefer the shield maps, but we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, for me, I'm gonna go ahead and just stick with BossFight.
Yeah, I think this map is it definitely favors their play style a little bit more than the Vikings play style. I think the sort of slow roll of the Vikings, I want to say it's not really going to work out for them. I think BossFight just has really good rotations, really good communication, and on a map like this, to be able to understand where your friendlies are and where the enemies are and react to it quickly is going to be the key. If you let the other team, get set up and not pay attention to player counts on different portions of the map and try to understand where the push is coming from, they're going to have a hard time. And I've just been seeing BossFight doing really well on the communication front so far. So I have a feeling they're gonna maybe eke out this subway win, and we'll go to a map 3 series decider, which, I mean, let's be serious. That's the perfect July 4th cast, am I right? Well, we won't have to wait much longer because gameplay is underway. Round 1 kicking off here. BossFight on the offense, Vikings on the defense here in Subway Map 2.
Up and over now. Come.
Lonely Viper rocking that shield as we would have expected. We're going to follow Scooby and Lonely Viper here as they push top side. Looks like they may be going catwalk.
Yep, that does appear correct. They've got fire support from Legil in the back. Interesting to see. Wait, wasn't Scooby just holding that shield a minute ago?
No, he's got a drone. That's what he's holding, and we're following the drone down the corridors here. Trying to see what he wants to clear. It's a great way to clear this little hallway. A very dangerous hallway to push out into. Quite a bit of little corners for the defense to sit into, but Vikings not opting for that just now, and now they're going to have to deal with the drone as it continues its clearing path. We're going to pop down here to the basement and check out Nolek. It's going to have to deal with High Fish and Radar Head here in just a few moments. The C4 is out. You can see there, just above the doorway in the south. Shots coming out from Mantis out towards that drone.
He's trying to kill that drone. Scooby's just teasing him with it now. He keeps flying it over his head and dipping it. Tell you what, man, Scooby has really been practicing with that drone, and it shows.
And Mantis, though, he's getting baited by this drone, and if he gets baited just enough, Viper...
He's laughing about it now. He knows what's going on.
He's got to be careful here. He's getting baited out into this danger zone where Viper...
Yeah, I see it. Legil's angling for it as we speak. But Mantis is being good about keeping his head below that awning, if you will, that overhang. He's aware of the possibility of him being taken out. But
Lonely Viper coming out, tossing the nade. Mantis, excuse me, not able to get away in time.
Wow, beautiful execution there of teamwork from the side of BossFight. And this is exactly what we were talking about. This is the kind of thing that the communication brings to light. You can't talk about it. Looks like Nolek, though, got a beat on Lonely Viper over on the stairs, and he's going to take the opportunity to take shots as Lonely Viper goes for a reload. Viper calls it out, and now Legil's on the push.
Legil is pushing. Nolek coming back up on the corner. He's not going to be ready for Legil's position here. He's looking for the headshot, doesn't find it.
Well, but Legil's got to be careful if he goes up on this platform. Uncle Sam's got an easy beat on him, and Uncle Sam does find the shot and takes him down, but here's 2 men looking. Uncle Sam's going to find a second one as well. Will he find Radar Head to find 3? Yes, he will, and now High Fish can't even be revived.
Wow, what a fantastic play there. Those re-peeks, just the quick re-peeks over and over, and Uncle Sam will find another Scooby-Doo. Down and out. That's just going to leave one member, Lonely Viper, here with the shield.
If he kills Viper, that's an ace.
Nolek will be the one taking that ace away from Uncle Sam, but what a fantastic defensive play by the Vikings to hold very strong. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at some of these replays. I mean, what a fantastic set of picks here by Uncle Sam, finding High Fish, finding another in Radar. I mean, just absolutely textbook stuff.
That was crazy. You really you shouldn't have expected that, but I'm assuming the peak angle was just too narrow for the attackers there, because every time it was the same thing. You thought the Marsoc would have that angle first, but he would end up being able to turn and find it quicker. Yeah, I mean, great defense there. Really nothing to complain about on the side of Vikings. There was nothing that, who was that, Mantis, could really do about the drone tease and being snuck like that, because there was nothing he could do. He just tried to keep defending the best he could. He did a great job of maintaining his head below that overhang, as we talked about. And had it not been from that well-chucked grenade from Viper on that approach, things could have went a lot differently on the north side.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was, it started off great for BossFight. They made the push in. They made their sort of little cutout of the map that they could push through down from that catwalk, and just got torn up by Uncle Sam. I mean, nobody could have anticipated. Was that 4? Was that 4 picks for him there in that round? It was. Uncle Sam picking up 4 members of that BossFight offense.
Yes, he had 4. He was on that ace track until Nalik stepped in and said, I've been shooting at these guys for 2 minutes. I'm gonna get me some.
If possible, can I get 3 magazines?
Get ourselves into round 2 now. Vikings now on the offense for that same objective.
Yeah, that's enough. Thank you. We're going.
Uncle Sam, the only one going up top. It looks like the rest will be filing down into the basement. So we're gonna follow Uncle Sam initially and see. Looks like he's gonna go that same route of getting onto the catwalk. On the catwalk, yeah, on the catwalk.
On the catwalk.
Do your little dance, Uncle Sam, on the catwalk.
4-man team going downstairs. It sounded like they were giving him a time frame that he had until a specific point to do whatever it is he needed to get done up top there, or else they were going to execute from the bottom. I'm not quite sure. I didn't quite hear everything, as of course I have you in my ear as well, talking about this heck of a matchup we've got so far, and early shots come out. Phoebe's going to find Scooby-Doo up top.
He does indeed, and camera there getting stuck in the wall. Apologies, but yes, Femi Fungi with the first pick. BossFight down to 4 early with the defense here. That's going to leave quite a bit open. Legel's the only one down here defending the backside of this objective. They've got defenders on the stairs, but they're a little too far away. The basement has Lonely Viper and Radar in it, but they've already got offensive members here. How did they get in the back line? Mantis and Nala going down to Viper's little flank here. You had to think he gave that to them. And now Lonely Viper's got the shield. He's got a gun. He's pushing through. Highfish and Lone Miyagi, along with Uncle Sam, will trade out, and just like that, Femi Fungi and Legel trade out as well, leaving just 1 member of the Vikings offense left. Lonely Viper now going to rotate, try and get this res out. Let's take a look at that replay of Lonely Viper's little flank on the backside. He just was able to get on the back of the Vikings push in the basement. Scoops up 2, grabs a shield, and Bob's your uncle is now 3 members of BossFight remain. Let's check in with Uncle Sam, who was the only person going up top, but a little too slow to link up with his Viking brethren coming out in the basement doorway there.
Well, technically, he's still within the time frame that he was given by his squad lead. I don't know why the basement push went so fast. Maybe they just felt like they had the momentum and they were just going to keep going with it. But, I mean, that's the intel that I heard as my camera sat in the spawn and they left, was that he had 3 minutes to do whatever it was he was doing. And we're just now hitting that mark now. So, I mean, he seems to be pretty much in time with what he was told. And the rest of the team pushed about 2 minutes early.
It was a prank. It was just an elaborate prank on Uncle Sam. And on July 4th of all days, to play a prank on Uncle Sam. Poor form, Vikings. Poor form. I'm kidding. Kidding, of course. But yeah, he's got some work cut out for him here. 3 minutes. 3 members of the defense to kill. In a very tall order at that, as he's got the sort of pincer of Lonely Viper and Legel down there watching this this entryway in the north stairwell. He'd be better off going south, obviously, as Radar had the only one covering that approach. But now, see what happens as he opts to push the danger zone, the danger stairs.
The danger stairs, yeah, it's not really going to be a good outcome for him here. It's not really many options.
Does he have any equipment that he could utilize? I don't see. I do see a smoke, right? He's got a no flash. He's got a flashbang. Ooh, pop the flashbang, toss it left, turn right, burn Viper, turn around, get the second pick, and then catch radar rotating. Easy peasy, Uncle Sam.
He says from his third-person camera.
Exactly. Uncle Sam has no idea where any of these defenders are. He pushes out, looks for the Lonely Viper burn, but Lonely Viper is going to be the one that wins that engagement, and BossFight will take their first round here in 5 rounds.
Yeah, it's about time they woke back up. They're going to need it. They need to take this map. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If not, the series is over. Vikings take it, and the rest is just for MMR.
Had to look at that nice little flank by Lonely Viper again there, setting up that really nice cleanup of the Vikings' offensive push.
Chat getting real riled up about the 1.8 and Quest release, debating various graphical things. Let's just wait, folks. Let's just let the hype drive you for the next few weeks as we wait for the release of 1.8, because you're going to need to play the crap out of it as we take a quick 3-week pause to assess bugs and make sure that everything is copacetic for us to continue the competitive league here at the VR Master League. But we do appreciate everyone's, passion for the game. I mean, that's what brings us all here, right? We're all very passionate for the game. We're all passionate for VR and VR esports. So big shout out again to all of you for being here, and to our teams for continuing to play and support the VR Master League, and for those of you at home who are watching. I mean, it's just, you get... Season 10 has really just become a heck of a season already. We've had some fantastic bangers of a game from all parts of the spectrum, from newer teams or lower ranked teams to the high tier matchups. I mean, it has just been an impressive week 1 here at Onward VRML.
Okay, so I'm joining Viper.
All right, we are ready to go here in our 3rd round.
Yes.
BossFight on the offense now. Objective has shifted. It is the North Turnstiles objective. It's going to be an exciting one. I can already tell. The shield's out, the defense pushing through, trying to get folks on. The drone is out. Here comes a little flash love for Lonely Viper. Does catch him out. C4 on the back wall there. Oh, use the C4 to down the drone. No, that would have been fun. Nice little frag toss there. Yeah, would have been really good, but the defense tucked in a little bit on the stairs.
I think Dante put in a backboard to bank it off of. It might have went far enough down.
C4 a little too early, but the grenade is going to be good, as Lonely Viper and Scooby-Doo downed by that fantastic nade toss. Here comes another. Not quite enough. Lonely Viper going to get the res out here, and not like pushing the corner. Trades out immediately with Scooby-Doo. Lonely Viper going down as well, and there it is. Lego cleaning up.
Revive. I killed 2. Revive them.
Take a look at that grenade
There's no one to
replay.
revive Lego. He's calling for Highfish to revive the team, but team dead. Team dead.
A fantastic early nades kicking off that battle. That's how we got into our 3v3 after BossFight pushed the corner, cleaned up the 2 defenders at the top of the stairs, and now 4.5 minutes left, 3 on each side. Looks like Radar he's still back, just waiting for a flank.
He's on flank watch, but nobody's going for it. They are hanging tight on the objective. I'm worried for the Vikings defense. If Femi Fungi goes down, it could take too long to rotate off of those other defensive positions, depending on where the attackers get the kill from. Because if they kill and just spring on that objective, that could be a cap before Vikings can respond.
That's what they're talking about right there, ladies and gentlemen, is that C4 on the stairs. But I do see the clacker next to it. It could have been a C4 trade with another defender, but they won't take the chance. Detonate the C4 remotely. Highfish just asked Radar for a grenade, and Radar is very far away. His grenade will not. That is going to be coming to you at FedEx ground speeds. FedEx home delivery. 6 to 10
He's
days.
gonna hire a postmate to take it to him. It'll be there in like 45 minutes. To forever.
Uber grenades.
Uber nades.
The Uber nades delivery going to be coming a little late. No grenades coming.
Copyright trademark. LLC. Don't sue my fish. I finish.
Highfish pushing the shield down the stairs. He's taking it slow. This is exactly what he needs to do, as Femi Fungi is back there waiting for the shield to pop into view.
Attention. Legal, will he get the kill from the attention grab?
There it is.
There's the pick. Will the action come off? They're going to quickly check the stairs, but they need to get on the push. The rotation's in from Vikings. They've already called it. This was the opportunity for BossFight to go for the cap, and it's going to be kind of squandered here. A nade comes around the corner trying to stop a cap attempt, but no one's going to be there. Legel behind the trash can. Lone Miyagi goes down. The objective is clear. Highfish should be going for this cap.
The flank protector is now the flanker as they push through. Lone Miyagi calling out that there's equipment here. Highfish, though, is behind the shield. He's got Tablet out. Is he going to go for it? Uncle Sam rotating is going to stop the dreams of a cap for BossFight. But they will take that round nonetheless and make it a 2-1 scoreline.
Yeah, great play there. A little bit of a rough start for, well, both sides with that nade fest, but there were some really impressive grenades thrown. Excellent execution on the stairs from Highfish and Legel. That's exactly the kind of play that you needed to be able to pull that defender out of his hidey hole there in the back. The only problem was a little bit faster execution from them in the north, and that would have been a cap play. We'd be looking at a 3-1 advantage here to BossFight for map 2, but Radar was on point with his shots, and they still secured the round, so that's better than nothing.
Absolutely, they definitely earned it there. A challenging push on those north stairs, but they were able to pull it off. Only Viper with 4 picks for his team. Legel 4 as well. Uncle Sam, meanwhile, on the other side, picking up 5 for Vikings. It's been a pretty sort of, middle ground-ish type of game, right? There hasn't been a ton of outright aggression, but it hasn't been slow necessarily.
Yeah.
They've been constantly applying pressure, in different lanes at different times. We've seen flanks come out. We've seen flank defenses, sometimes from the same person. And they've just been really reading the plays very well. Both sides have it. You could see that the scoreline's been sort of bouncing back and forth, and that is exactly why. They've just been really methodical in their play on both sides of the field here, and it's been working out in a big way. And we'll see if Vikings is able to keep that momentum here, or apologies, take back the momentum here from BossFight after that last round win.
Well, the shield is here. Nalik going to be the one rocking it. Worst time for Caster to get the hiccups right in the middle of a round. So, Noman, I'm going to turn this over to you while I try and get rid of these.
Yeah, not a problem at all. Vikings pushing top side with 3. 2 heading down the back stairs into the basement. We'll see how BossFight opt to defend this. We're going to see probably a couple of similarities. Oh, a fantastic toss there. The flash does catch Lonely Viper out. He does manage to get the frag off. Nalik and Miyagi tucked in, not able to push up that fast in that time. That's going to work out in their favor. Let's take a look down here at Femi's side. It looks like he's going to be getting into a bit of a scuffle with Radar Head if he's not ready, and I don't think he's going to be checking this corner, to be honest with you.
To be honest with you, Diane.
Oh, he does check the corner, but not tight enough, and Radar Head will get that kill delivered on a silver platter.
I always wonder, does that make the food taste different? Who cares? Give me a ceramic plate and some silverware, and I'm all good.
I'm pretty sure that is a much older saying than right now, than ceramics even. Nalik
Ah, shit.
narrowly missing that nade. Oh, another nade coming out. Very long tosses here. Nalik looking for the hit. Does catch
Shit.
Viper.
My titties.
Not a down, however, and he's going to miss those follow-up shots as well. Oh, Mantis picking up Lonely Viper on the inside there. He is in the middle. He's on that stairwell. And now he's in a lot of danger. Lego trained in this direction looking for him. Hasn't spotted him out just yet. Radar had the other one. He's very much pinched here, and there it is. Radar will find the backside of Mantis. Scooby-Doo and Highfish now defending close on the objective. Only one on the stairs there right now. Lone Miyagi still watching for that flank.
Nalik sounding a bit exasperated here as he feigns going down the steps. He thinks about it, then he doesn't. He's dropped his pistol now, so he's going to need to go back and get that. Looks like he does see that, maybe? Maybe not.
Down forwards, they'll be active and I will move slowly down. Let's see if I can manage to get fucked by the C4 and you kill them.
He's okay. He does notice his pistol there.
Corner here, roughly, and aim down forwards, go down.
Well, we did indicate the stream was intended for mature audiences, so.
True. And of course, when you're in the heat of battle, you're not paying much attention to your P's and Q's.
You don't have a profanity filter when bullets are flying into your head.
Nalik there just testing the waters. Does indeed confirm that Highfish is in that back corner. He's looking for the pick here. Will he be able to find it? He's got Scooby-Doo tucked in there as well. I don't think he knows that there's two in that position. And he's really hoping for it. Will Highfish peek yet again? He will. The shot's just not connecting here for Nalik, and he's gonna need to communicate this information. Scooby-Doo there, popping a bit of a smoke, giving Highfish the ability to push out. Oh no, the smoke vanished. That's not what he wanted. It looks like Scooby-Doo may have unintentionally downed his own friend by making that smoke vanish.
Back up, thankfully. Now things are really going off. Uncle Sam's found Legel with a trade. It's just these two Vikings here at the top with these two poor BossFight defenders who are stuck in a hole in the back. They can't really move much. Scooby-Doo gonna try and push up with some cover smoke, and it'll be just enough to get him to the corner and safe at the turnstiles.
Yeah, they've got to worry about the rotations now. They don't have anybody feeding them intel from that southern side, from the sort of middle of the map. And now Scooby's rotation is exactly to deal with that problem, is that they have no idea where the others may be coming from. So far, I think they know there's two here, and most of the battling happening out there was trading. And Uncle Sam traded out, it looks like, with, is that Scooby, I think, sitting in that? No, it wasn't Scooby, it was I have to look at their roster here. Highfish. I believe that was.
Oh, Nalik managed just to connect the shot onto Highfish in the backside, north side of the objective. Is open. Scooby-Doo also with pressure of two Vikings on the south. Not looking good for Viking BossFight here as he presses out right into the shield. Nalik finds the shots, and Vikings take their next point.
These two EU teams just having a bit of fun at each other's expenses.
I love it. That was great. An excellent way to diffuse the tension at the end of a round.
A really nice play there from Vikings at the end, just picking them up enough to force them to make these little peaks, right? Trying to get BossFight to be out of position, and it's exactly what happened there. Worked out beautifully.
Handy dandy, in fact.
Handy dandy indeed. And now they have evened things out. The score 2-2 here in map 2.
A lot of twos right now.
if you're just joining us, you're joining at a pretty good time. We're right in the middle. Pretty much as in the middle as we can be of this matchup. Cargo going the way of Vikings, and now we're in a tied scoreline halfway through the map of Subway. Vikings just now catching up, and again, we're seeing this back and forth, right? The Vikings will take a few, the BossFight will take a few, and they're constantly pressing against each other in different ways to get these favorable trades, and it's just been a fantastic series to watch.
Ooh, actually, it seems that BossFight is making quite an advantage, or quite an improvement on Subway over the past, because according to common map history, Vikings have a 71% win ratio here, and BossFight only 29. I don't know if that's because also a lot of teams ban Subway against BossFight, so there's not a lot of opportunity for them to play it. But some interesting facts here as we go into round 5 of map 2.
Round 5 indeed is underway now. The offense starting down low as it is the Bazaar, the Chinatown Bazaar objective. Pushing through here. Interesting that they're not opting to push through that north tunnel at all. They're leaving the north stairs entirely unattacked. They're gonna go the south way. This is sort of the standard push for this objective. Before there was even another spawn for this, Uncle Sam very quickly dealing with Highfish up here on the catwalk as he gets a little aggressive, and now it's gonna be an even more dangerous push for Scooby-Doo. Uncle Sam's
Viper radar ahead, making their way up the south stairs now. Viper's got a flash prepped in his hand, and he is ready to dance. Took a little convincing for Viper to get Radar Head to come up the stairs with him. I think Radar Head knows this is not a fantastic idea, but you know, Vikings are actually being a little bit, you know,
they're playing
defensive.
it safe. Yeah,
they're playing it safe, very safe here. They're not getting out looking for the early alleys of cross like you would normally see in the defense here, especially on the south side. And then, like you said, for BossFight to not even attempt to use that northern side, pretty interesting as well. Though I'm sure they know that it's pretty much like walking into a death trap going through that. It's because it's a hallway basically the entire time. You go up the stairs, you come out to a broad hallway with no ceiling. Then you go around a corner, you're into a narrow hallway with no ceiling. Like, it's just a hallway the entire way to the objective. So it's not very easy to fight.
Scooby-Doo and Uncle Sam here. I've just been sitting here waiting. Scooby's laser, there it is, finding the head of Uncle Sam, constantly rotating through and evening things out a little bit for BossFight's push.
BossFight have secured the corner. Radar Head and Viper now in position. Legel watching their back from the south stairwell exit still. No push up from the Vikings. No flank attempts coming in from them. Good security run on the BossFight side, trying to keep that flank from happening.
Yeah, Vikings definitely staying tight on the objective. They don't want the cap to come out here. That would be map 2 for BossFight, which would take it to a series decider map 3, as Vikings were able to come away with cargo. But Vikings have that Volk advantage now. They want to hold on to it, right? If they can hold this defense, they've got 2 more chances after that to try to lock the map down, potentially another defensive advantage. So they're really looking to stop this cap.
The patience on Viper. He is still holding that unpinned flashbang from before he went up the south steps. It's been almost 2 minutes since he's left that position. He's still got it. He's not let it go. And here comes Phoebe to check the alley. He's going to see Viper. A few shots ring off, and Viper's going to have some new information for his team.
Does indeed. He's going to have to deal with Mantis as well, and some check nades just coming out in that long hallway, but Blow Miyagi and Nalak, the ones defending it from the back side. A flub nade there. Not going to find any love.
A solid team push here, pointed with a point man and Lonely Viper on the shield, could actually result in a cap here. They could actually strong arm their way in from this side with the right rifles, but it's going to take some serious knowledge of execution. You got to know who needs to look left, who needs to look right, who's going in forward, and then peel back. But instead it looks like they are going to opt to resplit the push.
There indeed, Scooby coming around the corner here. He's going to have to challenge Lone Miyagi in this back spot, but Miyagi tucked in, finds a nice position and grabs that pick. Meanwhile, Femi will clean up Lonely Viper and the refrag coming out from Lego, but it's a trade. And just like that, BossFight down to 1, Radar Head, the lone member of the offense, gonna try and save it for his team.
I think Viper is gonna give him some shit because he's gonna freak out, man.
Hopefully not. Need to keep a cool and level head here as Radar backs off the corner. Gonna try to find a new way to approach.
Interesting to pull the trigger there. I wonder if he's trying to, if that was intended to keep their attention on that side. I'm not sure. Femi has backed off. Well, no, Femi got traded out with Legel. But Mantis is still watching that angle. It's so hard to call here. He could still come out with it. Depends on how well. And he's picked up that shield now. That's going to have a lot of determination. You know, he's going to need to really use that shield effectively. I would try and get to the bottom of the stair and maybe prop it against the wall and try and just use it as additional cover.
His biggest enemy right now is the round timer. He's down to 45 seconds. 3 members of the defense left. Not a whole lot he's going to be able to do if he just rocks the shield. He needs to use the gun to try to clear this. He's going to challenge Mantis here. Will he be ready for Mantis's position in the corner? Tucked in, he is. The gun goes up and over. He does find the pick, and that's 1 down. 30 seconds to go.
Oh boy. He's got that drum mag on that AK-5, so he's got plenty of opportunity to get these shots in.
Oh, he's safe from Nalik. He's safe from Nalik in this spot. If Nalik doesn't stand up and try to get this pick, Miyagi might go down. No, he does find the pick onto Radar, and Vikings will secure that defensive round and go up 3-2 here in map 2.
Radar Head with the almost clutch in the tough time. I mean, that was like the nittiest of the gritty if he would have pulled off that clutch. He had no time left. It was in a 1v3. He picked up a rifle and picked up a shield and was one-handing it with a rifle. I mean, that would have been a pretty impressive comeback if he would have been able to clutch that. A good attempt either way, but Vikings to take that round and add another point to their lead. Now, our first map was very close at a 4-3 scoreline. Will we see the same here on map 2? Noman, your thoughts?
I think BossFight do have what it takes to hold the defense on this objective. We've seen them effectively use equipment throughout the match so far. They need to make sure that those C4s and those frags really get utilized. Be patient with them. Wait until you've got some guys in a kill box before you detonate it. Just if they don't get too antsy, they absolutely can pull off this defensive win. Now, as for the offensive push that they're going to have to do the next round to try to seal up the map, that one is going to be interesting. So far, they have not been very effective on their offensive pushes. They have sort of fallen apart piece by piece.
It's true. That is very true. Yeah, I mean, their offense has been their weak spot. I mean, at first we didn't think so because Cargo was going quite well for them on offense at first. And then that tide shifted and Vikings came back and just started hammering in points. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, the early round picks definitely aren't helping. They are walking into certain situations kind of unguarded. But I think Vikings, you know, they're just bringing out a really solid defense here. And it's not, I'm not seeing a lot of like meta positions either from the Vikings. It's not like they're sitting in super common positions. Yes, in some extent they are because there's only but so many options to effectively defend some of these locations. But overall, I mean, I think both teams have done a good job on defense, but Vikings is just stopping all of these opportunities from BossFight so far.
They are going to get that quick spawn in the south and pushing through. Lone Miyagi already charging up. Lonely Viper and Legel backing off a little bit as they've identified the Marsoc spawn. Highfish is going to be the first one, I think, to challenge any of the members of Vikings, but he's been patient on that corner.
Oh, this will be well timed if he throws it now. He does. Oh, just narrowly saved from that frag. Femi Fungi and Uncle Sam skirt away. And Highfish actually isn't going to stick around to wait for any refrag attempts because, as expected, one comes around the corner, but there's going to be nobody home.
No, indeed not. We'll take our little cruise here through the defense. This radar head is set up there, and now Highfish is in a good position to try and catch Nalik out. They're pushing the stairs. A lot of pre-fire coming out on some common angles, but they're not gonna meet any... This camera go down! Trying to go down these stairs. Highfish is gonna meet Nalik here on the corner. He does. The shield comes out. The rotation is perfect, and Highfish able to clean up that shield. But now Mantis pushing on the reload. Is he ready? He is. And just like that, Vikings will take this backside approach. A nice little pickup for them here.
The last of them, though. Radar head still sitting over near the dumpster, ready and poised for the attack. Mantis still downstairs. Femi unsupported here. He should wait for Mantis to come up and support him. He's not going to be ready, but he is. He pops out. His radar head looks down to check his tablet or something and finds the pick onto radar head. It's a 3v4 now. Vikings holding the advantage.
Yeah, nice little peek out there. But if he does it again, Legal is here for the refrag. He's looking for it. He's watching that angle. I think he sees Femi's gun. The shots come out. He does find the pick. Evens things out yet again to a 3v3. Now Lonely Viper gonna have to deal with Miyagi and Uncle Sam pushing down this corridor. Does he have a C4 set up? It feels like... Yeah, he's got the clacker and a frag in his hand. Play a game of where's the C4. Well, Miyagi and Uncle Sam gonna have to be very cautious here. It looks like Lonely Viper has set up quite the trap. I'm gonna keep my eyes trained on this corridor here.
All around for it. Do not jump to my camera because it's going to be all over the place right now. I'm looking for that C4 so hard.
Uncle Sam pushing through. We might see it. Uncle Sam pushes the corner. Lonely Viper detonates the C4. Doesn't catch Miyagi, but the trade will come out. Uncle Sam still resible. Legal is hearing that sound, and he's going to grab Lone Miyagi as he rotates, looking to try to ride the side of this corridor here and get that res. Not going to work out for him, and BossFight looking good here to secure their defensive round.
Shoulder blade to get that pick. That was an almost didn't get him type situation there.
We're going to ride along with Mantis here as he nabs the shield, has the automatic rifle. We're going to see an attempt similar to Radar's in that last round to try to secure this with the shield. He should be able to spot out. Oh, and the C4 on the other side will find Mantis. He was not ready for that. And BossFight will secure yet another tied round here for the map decider. Vikings going on to the defense.
But this is it. This is the series deciding round.
It is indeed. If Vikings win, it will take the series for them. Yeah. Otherwise, they're going into a map 3 decider. BossFight really needing to convert on Marsoc here. I mean, they've had some strong rounds so far. Lego with 8 picks, Radar with 5. But I mean, Vikings are responding in kind. Uncle Sam's got 9. And then just 4s spread across the board there. Everyone's pulling their weight. I genuinely would not be able to tell you which team is going to be able to take this map.
Nope. I'm sticking with BossFight because I would switch in the middle of a map, you know. But statistically, like this next objective, we're on that center platform. It's got a lot of cap opportunities to it, but you know the Vikings are gonna have that thing locked down. So I have a feeling BossFight have their work cut out for them going into this next round, trying to pull that win away from Vikings and take us into a Series 3. But man, it is going to be a tough job.
Yeah, it is not going to be an easy battle. Vikings so far have been able to hold their defenses relatively well. They got that bulk advantage a couple of rounds ago and have held on to it so far. So they just need to hold out this one, and they've got the series in the bag, but BossFight has definitely not been a slouch. They're going to have to work hard for this one, and work hard they will, as round 7, the final round of map 2, now underway.
No. Possibly, I don't think so, though.
Looks like BossFight is going to opt to push 4 on the top side. Oh, 3.
and yell if he's on the stairs.
Might get your drone.
We're gonna follow the 3 amigos here. Scooby with the drone to clear. Coming out. Now he's gonna be able to spot out 2 defenders as Uncle Sam and Lone Miyagi both on the stairs here. The frag coming out. A nice toss by Lonely Viper does manage to catch Lone Miyagi, and a fantastic throw. Lonely Viper confirms the kill as well, and a great play by him. Take a look at that again. What a fantastic toss off of that intel. To be able to down Lone Miyagi, and then the confirm coming out with the pistol moments later. Defense has rotated out a little bit. Uncle Sam and Femi Fungi now at the bottom of the stairs here. Now it's going to be up to Nalik to defend against that basement push from Highfish and Radar, though. Radar looks like he might be rotating back out to assist elsewhere.
Yeah, he has pulled off. He's laid some pressure on some of the mid stairs in this early round with some pre-fire, just some suppressive fire on the tops and platform landings of the stairwells. But yeah, it does appear like he's rotating back to go and support the team elsewhere. Highfish will be the one in control of the basement from the point on.
So we don't see any C4s here. The discussion from the BossFight team right now in this catwalk tunnel is that they're hoping that they're going to be able to spot out a C4, but none currently can be seen. At least by this humble caster. Uncle Sam checking this corridor again. They've got to be hearing the conversation, the movement above them here, but this is going to be dangerous for Uncle Sam to push this 3-man offensive push on the corridor. Scooby pushes the corner. Uncle Sam is ready for him, finds one.
Radar head here. If he speeds up his rotation, he might actually be able to help catch some of these defenders off guard and help those guys in the mid portion of the map find their way out. But he's got to step it up. He's come down the stairs now. His first victim should be Mantis, as long as he's careful.
Viper challenging Uncle Sam here.
You don't get better moments than that, buddy.
Uncle Sam's just waiting for the ambush here for Lonely Viper to push down these stairs. They're gonna need Radar Head. They're gonna need Leggle to be in a position to challenge this.
Radar head is looking over towards Mantis's position, but he doesn't see anything yet. Mantis very cautious about not showing his head too much, and yeah, I don't think he actually exposed himself at all to Radar head. So long as he keeps that head low, he'll be able to find the surprise, that ambush point onto Radar. Unless he goes downstairs.
Just continuing to watch the little ballet here with Uncle Sam, Lonely Viper, and Nalik on this southern stairwell. And the smoke now coming out. Shots from Mantis towards Radar will tuck him in a little bit.
That's useless. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that?
Oh, I think Radar's got the shot. He's being very cautious here not to take it. He knows he's still got the element of surprise. I don't think he wants to give away his position yet. He's very... Oh my goodness, the trigger discipline here from Radar Head is ridiculous. Here he comes up and over the top. He finds the pick onto Mantis.
A really nice rush and pick there. We'll take a look at it in the instant replay as the rest of the offense starts to come together. Lonely Viper still pushing this stairwell, but Radar Head will finally utilize that flank. Grab Uncle Sam, clear a bit more of a pathway for Lonely Viper as he pushes through. Nalik confirming Highfish downstairs, however, will swing things a little bit more in their favor as BossFight with 3 Vikings, now just 2 remaining.
BossFight still have an opportunity for a cap here. I mean, Fungi is able to see the objective, but there are some blind spots to that position. It's not completely, you know, it's not a completely denied cap from where he is.
If Radar Head can catch Nalik by surprise here, they'll be in a very good position to either try to cap or clean up that final kill. But there's only 60 seconds left.
He's managing his speed well, but as far as noise suppression, but yeah, the time is not on their side anymore. They need to strike, and they need to do it now. Somebody's got to draw Femi out, and it's probably going to have to be Legel, but yeah, there we go. Viper finds the pick on the Nalik. That's going to be huge. Now Viper's in the blind spot of Femi, and the second Femi shoots, Legel should have the beat on him. Legel now pressed into the doorway just on the outside of Femi, but it looks like Viper, they could be going for the cap here. No, the kill comes out from Radar Head. And in an incredible fashion, on the teeter of losing the whole series in the matter of seconds, BossFight find their win and stay alive, and we get a Map 3 series decider for our only match of the day here on Onward VR Master League. Radar Head coming out with 8 kills, same with Legel, Uncle Sam with 10. Man, these teams really showing what the top tier of Onward looks like.
Yeah, absolutely, and what a series it has been. Cargo going down 4-2. Subway now going down 4-3 as well. And we are in that tied series. We are into a Map 3 decider here in this BossFight Vikings game. And that's exactly what we wanted, you know? I mean, obviously, the teams want something different than we do, but who can say no to a really exciting, nail-biting, score-for-score, blow-for-blow matchup like this? And in the EU, no less, you know? I mean, just top-notch stuff all around from both teams. Definitely an exciting game. Glad we opted to pick this one up. And we will see what Map 3 will be here in just a few moments as the teams decide and get ready to go.
Oh man, I feel like it's gonna be Snow Peak or Downfall.
Interesting. You don't think Bazaar is going to come out in a situation like this where they've been playing sort of medium-ish, medium to small maps?
Yeah, that's a good point, and it's another map that they could both end up utilizing shields on.
I mean, I've completely lost track of who's picking what at this point since Vikings opted for a Volk pick the first time, giving BossFight the map pick. Then I think they did Volk again, or at least it was their...
Well, it was BossFight's map pick for the second map,
yes,
so they had to do was choose sides.
All that, and now it's going to be Map 3, and you have to assume... You have to assume Vikings is just going to pick defense, right? They've already set the precedent here.
Yeah, and that has been more of a common trend for them. Like, I don't feel like that's uncommon for them to do, to pick the side versus the map.
It's definitely not something we see as much as you would expect in the league. A lot of teams still opt to pick for their map choices rather than just try to defend any old map that the enemy team can throw at them.
Yeah, which is odd because it is an option. It's not like it's illegal to do. It's not like they're gaming the system. I mean, you could argue that, I guess, but it's not really. I mean, they give up their choice of map. They could be walking into 3 of the opponent's best maps. So it's not really a new strategy or anything crazy, but it's just so weird that you'd see a team utilizing it more than others, and you kind of wonder why that is. So
absolutely, and my prediction will come true. Bazaar will be Map 3. We'll see whose choice it was. Likely BossFight's, if I had to take a guess.
Wager.
They had a fantastic showing on Bazaar in the postseason of Season 9. They played the team that I am the captain of, Blaze, on it, and they did a fantastic job of shutting down basically everything. Our fast plays, our slow plays. They've really got this map dialed in, and I'm excited to see how Vikings can put up with that challenge. This definitely feels like one of the stronger maps for BossFight right now. Especially coming off of Season 9, what we saw there. And I don't really know. Do you have the statistics on Vikings map record for Bazaar?
It is dead even. It's 50-50 between these two teams.
Wow, so Map 3 series decider on a map that is 50-50 across the board for these two teams. You cannot get closer than this.
I mean, I just want to... Gosh. Dakin on Twitter right now. Let's get a poll going. Who's going to win map 3? It's a 50-50 statistical split between these two teams in a series that's tied 1-1. Get it out there. Let's see what the people think.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know in the chat as well.
Yeah, please. Tell us in the chat who's going to win based off what you've witnessed today. No favorites, no one side or the other. Based on the match that you have watched, who's your winner? And Noman, I'm going to ask you that question. Who's your winner based off what you've watched today?
I gotta say Vikings on this one. I'm gonna give it to Vikings. I think they can pull off just enough. They've got the defensive advantage off the bat, which on Bazaar is a pretty big advantage. And I think they've sort of gotten wise to some of BossFight's tactics. So unless BossFight has something, excuse me, brand new to bring to the table here, I think Vikings have a real good shot. What about you, Sleepy?
Yeah, I actually think, and you know, I said I don't usually do it, but yeah, I think Vikings might take it because they've seemed more consistent than BossFight has. Yes, they had a few early round shakes that they had to get out, but they came back and won that map and then opened up a 2-point lead on the following before BossFight was able to answer back again, right? It was 5 unanswered points before
it was,
BossFight.
yeah. Exactly.
So
yes.
I mean, again, based off of the match that we've already seen, I think the advantage goes to Vikings.
Well, there you have it. 2 casters going for the Vikings prediction, but we are excited to see what your predictions are. Drop those in the chat for us. And we are not waiting on any roster changes. It looks like we've got all 10 in, so they're just getting their strategies all lined up. And who can blame them? In such a tense series, you want to make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's, as it were.
Oof. I'm worn out just from the excitement of this game.
It has been a good one, and so early on in the day. To have one at noon Pacific time that's a barn burner like this one is exactly the kind of wake up that us West Coasters need, right? This is like our morning coffee, but in video game form.
I mean, we keep saying morning, but this match started at noon.
Hey, that's morning for some people. You know, it's saying that for a friend.
Oh man. Oof.
Just waiting on
Something,
yeah. Teams just maybe taking a bit of a water break here. It's been an hour and 45 minutes for the first 2 maps. If that gives you any indication of this sort of tooth and nail fighting we've been seeing here, almost 2 hours for 2 maps is really just goes to show how far these teams have been burning down the clock. I would almost venture to say, you know, textbook EU, right? Utilizing the round timer to its fullest extent.
in some cases, yeah. I mean, there were definitely some rounds where there was a lot of clock left
Well,
at the end.
I mean,
But
you know, if we harken back to Cargo, they were burning rounds down to the last minute, last 2 minutes, last 3 minutes more often than they were aggressive, and that was unusual to me. BossFight has been, you know, at least in Season 9, they were really taking to that aggressive, quick 60-second rounds, especially on maps like Cargo. And so to not see that, really, I don't think I even saw it once in Cargo, if I can really remember. Every round went at least 3 or 4 minutes long. And so an interesting shift for them. They definitely were the most aggressive of the EU teams, at least consistently. And so to see them shifting back to this more methodical play style, and hey, if it works, it works, but always interesting to see when tactics change for teams like this.
And the clock ticks on as we await the start of our teams here. Oh man, maybe we should throw the folks through a quick
Yeah,
intermission
let's
while we wait for the start.
let's take a quick break. Of course, we'll be back as soon as the action starts. We'll jump right back into it. But yeah, while we wait for the teams to hydrate and ready up, we'll throw you to a quick intermission. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. Map 3 coming up soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. The teams are ready. The action is overflowing as we get into our first round of map 3, the series decider here for the Vikings in boss fight match. Vikings on the defense, boss fight on the offense.
Looks like so far the chat is going for boss fight for this final map. Prediction for a cap on Kiat. A couple of the folks here, though, are cheering on the Vikings. Some early shots in the north from the Vikings, but no connections made.
Yeah, Vikings now all set up, taking a look at the overhead map as they filed out into their positions, really stacking heavy in that eastern courtyard and the northwest corner of Kayat, and just 2 on the objective, or at least relatively close to the objective. It makes my palms sweaty and my heart palpitate when I see an objective that's that open. You know, it's just not a sight I like to see as a player, as a captain, and of course as a caster. A little wrenching to say, like, oh, you got nobody? You've got nobody with eyes on it? It looks like they've got at least 2 who have some coverage for it. But the boss fight offense has not made much headway towards the objective just yet. They're taking their time as well. It's a minute and a half now burning down in this first round.
I wonder if Scooby's drone actually saw Mantis in the back of the Kiat building.
Doesn't look like it. He doesn't seem too concerned about it. Otherwise, he may have peeked through the hallway there rather than going right down the street. So it's going to come down to whether or not Mantis will be watching this angle as Scooby crosses. And it looks like he might be. Does indeed spot him out. The shot rings out, and there it is. A nice and easy pick for the Vikings. Going to leave boss fight with 4.
And I had my answer. He did not see him with his drone.
The rest of the boss fight team stacked up here in the south. Just 1 remaining to challenge the north side, that North Kayat defender. We'll see here as some shots ring out from Lone Miyagi. Looks like just a little bit of pre-fire, but no one spotted out. No one took any shots.
Did you pre-fire anything in the mini-market yet? I'll do it.
Now a little bit of pre-fire going to come out from Legel towards the mini-market stalls. A very common defensive position for folks. And let's take a gander over here as Mantis and Highfish sort of circling each other a little bit. Highfish checking for Mantis in that old spot, but he'd already rotated out, so just a little too slow to catch that. And now a little bit of pre-fire coming out from the defense. Gonna tuck Highfish in a little bit.
Smokes are live here in the southwest as it looks like BossFight is ready to make their push across the street here with about 2.5 minutes to go. Radarhead barely makes it by Femi and into the blue garage. He's going to tuck in for the moment, but now he's going to have to find at least 3. It looks like Vikings are hard crashing back towards the objective, but stopping about halfway. Highfish will find Mantis all the way back on the north. Radarhead will take some shots at Femi, but no access.
Yeah, the shots do land. It just was not a kill. Highfish finds another. Uncle Sam, the backside of the northeast courtyard is falling apart. Now Highfish pushing through. Could he find the last one? He did hear the footsteps there. Drops his tablet just to make sure he's got his gun up. And Femi Fungi finds Radarhead. Now Lego's going to have to go for the refrag here. Will he be effective enough? Lone Miyagi grabs Lonely Viper meanwhile in the backside, and there's the confirm coming out. It's a 2v3. Vikings with the advantage so far. Highfish and Legel just on opposite corners in this street. Nalik is looking for one or the other. Legel pushes out. Nalik's not looking. Femi not on the coverage. Highfish meanwhile finding Nalik. Lone Miyagi going down to Legel, and there it is. The refrag from Femi saves the day. It's a 1v1. Those shots ringing out give Highfish exactly the intel he needed. He knows exactly where this defender is. It's just going to be a question of if he's going to play the clock here and force him to rotate out of this position and check for other cap spots. Oh, but he's not in a position to capitalize it if Femi goes for this cross right now. Highfish needs to be in a position to capture it, and there it is. He does managed to get that pick, and we'll take a quick look at the replay here as Legel made a nice little push for the objective, but the refrag from Femi saving the cap. Ultimately not going to do what they want, though, as BossFight seals the deal on round 1. Very nice little, I mean, that was back and forth, and Vikings definitely had the advantage there.
I did not expect that southwest push to come and kind of turn the tide as much as it did. It really disrupted the defense of Vikings, and Highfish ended up gaining a lot of advantage because of it. Drew a lot of attention from his direction. He snuck up behind Mantis, who was his biggest kind of hurdle at first, and then he was just able to just come in behind everyone, thanks to the rest of his team being able to get their picks and do their damage. So
it was an excellent play by Highfish, picking up 4 there for his team. Lego, the only one scooping up a pick in the backside of the objective. Fantastic series there by Highfish. The patience, the rotations were correct. Missed a couple of opportunities, but in the end, it didn't even matter. Now it's going to be the turn of BossFight to defend and Vikings to try to crack through on offense. No easy feat for this mini-market objective. I'm curious if they'll go for that same, south-heavy push, or if they're going to try and spread their offense a little bit and try to constrict around the objective. We've seen both styles work, over the last few seasons. Yeah. But it really does come down to coordination and a little bit of luck with those smoke grenades landing in the place you want them, and making sure that your equipment utilization is timed well. But
honestly, this objective is a defender's nightmare. There's so many different path routes through to the objective, and it's almost impossible to watch them all. You really have to just kind of dedicate yourself to the major crossing points. And a direct watch of the objective, because otherwise you get people who manage to just find these routes, know how to stay quiet enough, and they just sneak right by you, and sometimes it even leads to a cap right under the nose of 5 defenders.
Yeah, we've seen that happen more often than you would imagine. But right now, Vikings are taking it a bit slower. They've got 1 in the Kayat, 2 in the south, 2 in the middle. So 2-2-1 split. And they are going for sort of a full clear. Only Viper trained in Nalik's direction here. He's got to be cautious here. He's just standing out in the open in the street. So dangerous. Only Viper does miss the rotation of Femi, and now Femi's sort of worming his way inside. And speaking of defenses, what does BossFight think they're defending here? Look at this coverage for the South. I mean, there is just nothing there. I thought the Vikings were leaving the objective open, but BossFight.
It's actually pretty similar to how Vikings were stacked initially in their round. They just have one extra person on the Kiat that should be in the northwest corner, and otherwise it's almost the exact same defense.
This is such a danger. I mean, that is a long run to make if you lose your your defender on the objective.
Yeah, the 2 over by Kayat will never make it if something bad happens, and this rotation from Scooby-Doo was a little risky, especially considering Femi's positioning. But he does make it across. He's not seen, and well, we'll wait another 3 minutes until the attack happens, I guess. I don't know. A lot of slow movement here. A lot of time still being taken just to get past the Kiat.
Uncle Sam's going to meet Highfish here in just a few moments as he goes to clear this corridor. I think Highfish might just spot the corner of him. No, Uncle Sam sees him first. The down will come out. Only Viper ready, but Uncle Sam with the double frag is going to secure that Kiat for the Vikings, and a fantastic play by him. Let's take a look at that again. Just able to catch him in that corner. I can't believe Highfish didn't spot him out in that nice little peek into Kiat, grabbing Lonely Viper. I mean, he had to have just barely heard, you know, Viper stand up or ready his weapon. Reacting off of it, what a heads-up play that was. Now, Radar Head hearing all of the footsteps here of Nalik and Femi nearby, and he's just tucked in nice and quiet. Take a look at the overhead map. You can see what's left of the defense there. Oh, excuse me. Now I've got the hiccup, struggling to hold the Vikings at bay.
I don't know if I'd still want Scooby up that far north at this point. Still a heck of a run through some very open passages to get back to the objective if the main defense team on the objective goes down. Radar Head has got to be hearing so many footsteps right now. It's ridiculous. Here comes Nalik around the corner, and the trade.
Trade is exactly what Vikings need. That's going to leave 1 to revive and only 2 to defend the objective at large. The C4 now detonating. Everyone's crashing down. The final 2 members. They've got fire on the objective, trying to prevent a cap as the smokes are out and on it. But the Vikings still have not pushed through. They've thrown their equipment. We've seen this already. They throw their smoke, they throw their equipment, they don't quite start to utilize it right away. And this is the reason why they do this. Lone Miyagi picking up Lego there. It's to cause this kind of chaos when they've got a few down on the defense. Scooby-Doo and Uncle Sam will trade. The cap almost coming out there, but not enough trigger discipline, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really hear anything. I don't know if maybe the Vikings gave clicks on the radio to indicate a cap attempt was happening, but it seems like that wasn't really a trigger discipline thing as much as it just was a lack of communication that a cap was happening. Because I feel like maybe if that player had known, they would have just like taken their hand off the gun or something like that.
Yeah, very important to notify your team of your plans.
Especially if you know there's only but 1 left, possibly 1 left, maybe more, but you can never really take that risk. Especially if you've got someone who's able, willing, and there to make the cap happen. Make it cappin'.
Make it cappin'. We are in a tied series yet again. BossFight and Vikings tying it up 1-1 here in the final map. As you can see, it is a tied series so far as well. Cargo going the way of Vikings, and BossFight just managing to take Subway away from Vikings there. So now we're in the series decider, and it's all tied up still as we march on through our 3rd map. Pretty exciting series so far, though. I've definitely enjoyed seeing some of these strategies. Some of these routes are very interesting. Lots of new angles. It's the start of a new season. We're going to be seeing a lot of new stuff all throughout, I think, as we get our eyes onto as many teams as possible. But we wait no longer as gameplay now kicks off.
Oh, this will be interesting. East Courtyard objective, and BossFight has the quick spawn. Will they use it? Will we see any aggression?
Well, we'll find out in just a moment as we take a look at the overhead map here as the teams get underway, and the aggression is coming out. They're inside.
Yeah, Lonely Viper's hot charging through the north side of the Coyote. He's going to be looking to go north to see intel, maybe? Mantis. Contact in the north courtyard of the Coyote. They have been called out. Mantis won't get much off. Radar head going to go up top. See if he can't find the angle, but Mantis pulls off the corner.
Just in time as well. The frag almost making it over to Lonely Viper's position. Just able to avoid it in time. Luckily, he did not push up too aggressively. Otherwise, that could have spelled disaster. Communication coming out there from the BossFight team, and you're always hearing them communicate. They're doing a very good job of making sure everybody knows whether you've succeeded or had a bit of a shortcoming, where your positions are. I've heard sort of the gamut of communication come out from them, and that is definitely why they're a top team. That level of communication is so important.
Yeah, I had the privilege to play on a team with Viper at a Onward Invitational as part of a stack-up kind of fun event versus the developers, and yeah, that was something that I noticed, and a reason Lonely Viper and I felt we worked really well together, because the communication was just constant. Like, we were constantly talking, whether it was, you know, we were right on top of each other, just using local voice to, you know, to chat with one another, or whether we were on the radio calling out stuff to each other. I mean, it was just constant, and that kind of, you need that stuff. You have to stop being so afraid of everyone hearing everything you say, and just kind of call out the information that needs to be. You know, the top teams are not, you know, just clammed up and not talking to each other. No, they're talking all the time, whether it's on the radio or yelling at each other across the field. They're getting that info across, and that makes a difference when it comes to letting your teammates know and painting a picture with intel as to where those enemy positions are, so you can better attack.
Absolutely. Radar and Nalik here providing some comic relief to, I assume, each other. But it's definitely a bit of a distraction as Scooby-Doo manages to get his way all the way up to this side wall. He just pops up into the window. He can grab a nice little pick on the lone Miyagi. He's laying there very exposed. Uncle Sam will find high fish, though, on the push across the south. Shots ring out towards Mantis. Scooby not able to find those. Miyagi now sees him rotating through, does grab Scooby-Doo as well. And BossFight is out. 2 members. One is resable, but a difficult res it will be.
Yeah, and it looks like Miyagi's going to be waiting on the res. The trade will come out, so that will help him, and Mantis will get picked on the corner by Radar. Now the north is free and clear. Nobody's going down to res for Scooby, though. I'm not sure why. Maybe they're just... Oh. Here comes Viper. He's going to go rifle up, now trying to get something through the door. Maybe a flash. Yeah, flash in the hand.
Flash in the hand is worth 2 frags in the bush. Nalik gets that frag toss, but he's got the C4 and able to down Viper. A fantastic play.
There we go. Finally, the res coming out from the BossFight side, helping to even out the playing field. Fimi Fungi races in to Nalik's last known position. Scooby-Doo on the look. Here he comes, Fimi, looking like he's going to press that corner. No, he's going to tuck in towards the stair set.
Take a look at that play. A nice little flash toss, but the C4 will win every time against the flash. Only Viper going down.
Yeah, C4 doesn't get blinded. Sorry.
Now just Scooby and Radar remaining here. 2v2. Fimi Fungi and Uncle Sam, the last 2 defenders, and Uncle Sam wins the trade. On the long peak there. Confirm will come out. Now Radar aware of this position.
He has the height to actually watch it from a better position, but The defender just won't check it again. Now he's on a hot rotation. He's got 90 seconds left. He's off to the north. He's going to try and come in from a different angle. Is he going to try and go far east and try and, you know, shoot across?
I think
it is a good
is.
approach, but it's not going to help him against Uncle Sam, I don't think. I don't think he's going to be able to get in position. Does he have any utility left? That's another good question. And I just thought of something we could use in our casting improvements, Noman.
That is an offline conversation to have as Radar Head just continues his rotation. 60 seconds on the clock. Still 2 members of the defense. He's got to think he maybe only has 1 left. And now he's giving his position away, so that is unfortunate, and you can hear the frustration. Radar Head definitely thinking that was a live defender that he was shooting. Now 35 seconds left on the clock, and he's rotating back again. Likely to push this north alleyway here. Femi pop in the corner, not spotting him out just yet. Radar!
Oh, wow, what a nice pick there from Radar as he catches the head of Femi poking out the side. Will he have enough time? 16 seconds now as the clock ticks by. Now down to 10 seconds left as he comes around. He should know where this last defender is, but he forgets, and Uncle Sam gets the pick. Vikings take the defensive round and the lead 2-1 here on Bazaar.
What a fantastic defense there by the Vikings. Nice and patient for Uncle Sam to get that pick. He didn't push back. He didn't go straight for the north corridor. He didn't try to get his eyes on. He just was patient and quiet, sat and waited despite Radar Head's nice little play there to pick off Femi Fungi on the objective. I was surprised he didn't just push in through and maybe try to cap.
Yeah, I still think the defender had an eye on that corner, but I mean, who it wouldn't have hurt, right? 10 seconds left realistically when he crashed in on the last defender. So yeah, I mean, it really wouldn't have mattered, I don't think. He must have had his kill count wrong, because I don't see why he wouldn't have looked to that side, because he had just, encountered a gunfight with someone in that area before rotating.
I think he just assumed it was that same person on the left-hand side, so he just he was assuming the other person was going to be closer to the objective, likely in that room, the courtyard on the way to Kiat. So I can see why you may not double take, because it does feel like they're sort of double stacked, right, in that same position. But worked out for Uncle Sam in a big way as he's able to hold on to that defensive round. And now BossFight heads to defense, and it looks like we're going to be getting defensive wins. Or did we get 2 Marsocs? I think we got 2 Marsocs and then
We got 2 Marsocs out.
Yeah, 2 Marsocs and then a Volk now. So we'll see if the Volk trend continues for this objective, at the very least.
If not, this keeps Vikings. This lets Vikings have their Volk advantage back. Going into their Marsoc round, which then could lead them to victory, or it could lead them to a pace round where they can, it's okay if they lose it, they still have another one, and the last one would then be their defensive round. So it's a good position to really be in.
No quick spawn for the Vikings, but they are pushing for this northwest approach. A little bit of pre-fire ringing out there, not gonna land.
Radar Head shooting at ghosts in the North Street.
He might be behind tank.
But he should have some action here soon. The shot's gonna ring towards this window after they heard those initial pre-fire shots. Femi Fungi will be the one to take those shots.
Yeah, the defense just tucked in. Scooby-Doo on a nice long angle here out that doorway. Sort of see tracked by the laser. Definitely got a good line there. We'll be able to at least spot the Vikings trying to cross closer to the courtyard. Meanwhile, the rest of them are clearing Kiat, trying to get this north side locked down. Shouldn't be too difficult, as there's no defender outside of the northeast courtyard.
So pretty well balanced defense, I can say. I mean, they've got some guys in the east making sure that they can't get that crossfire over towards the objective. Then they have at least 3 on the objective within some sort of sight line. Nalik, they're going to pick up Scooby-Doo and down
I did
him.
not kill Scooby.
Nalik definitely calling out that he didn't kill Scooby. He's technically correct. He did down him, but the res does come out. Lonely Viper scoops that up, and now Scooby does not have the angle anymore.
Make it work. Danger close, sit blue.
Viper sounds like a quarterback calling shots now. Blue 42. Blue 42. Make it work.
They know that they're close. They know they're tucked into Kiat. He's definitely been hearing some of these footsteps and rotations. So they pushed off the outside-facing windows, just kind of giving Vikings this approach, right? They've got nobody watching on the outside. Now Fimi Fungi and Uncle Sam can push up in a big way here, and Lonely Viper just checking.
Outside, sit blue. Right window.
He's got the callouts on point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I love how his uniform doesn't catch fire even though there's a flaming Molotov sitting on his chest.
Oh, you don't do that? You don't just set fire to things and strap to yourself?
Not since I was a child, anyways. Ooh,
Tight
I
up.
think Uncle Sam's walking into this really tight angle from a Viper, and he manages to connect with him through that window. The entire round's just going to be in this one building now, Noman.
Yeah, apparently Lonely Viper mounting a very good defense inside of this this building here in the northeast courtyard. Just one pick so far, but 3 minutes and change have burned off the clock, and that was the first pick. That was the first actual death. Scooby-Doo being downed a little earlier in the round, but the res did come out.
They're going sneaky.
Viper calling out the sneaky tactics of Vikings. Femi trying to find himself inside this building, but this grenade pin is going to be the end of him, I think. Scooby-Doo could just pop out of this window. No, he's going to prep a grenade of his own, and it's well-timed.
Oh, and
Lonely Viper's also there to follow up. That's a nice kill for them. BossFight now with a 5-man advantage. Now down to 4 as Nalik finds one. 2 members of Vikings left, and it's the 2 that I would argue were the most out of place in sync with their team.
One dead.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at that little C4 and grenade action. Scooby-Doo rotates out. Nalik doesn't catch the rotation. Would have been a perfect time to snag a kill. Scooby pushing out, though. Not fast enough on the draw. Nalik finds one. Radar head with the refrag from the long north angle. Now Lone Miyagi, the last one left. Now ready for Lego as he pops out of the blue room. Gets the pick, and BossFight tie the series up here. 2-2.
Amazing turn of events there. We thought things could be different. Vikings were stacking up. I mean, yeah, like you said, they essentially allowed Vikings into a pre-stage environment, but Viper did a great job at just kind of delaying that and delaying that and delaying that. Even if he only really grabbed 1 kill, technically, I think maybe 2 with the grenade. The benefit of what he did was more so that he held that team back, because the less time that they have to execute, the more scrambled it's going to be, and then when things start going wrong, it's even worse. It's a psychological warfare in a sense without really focusing on the psyche of the enemy. You're just putting them in a box that they don't have any option of what to do with, and they have to make decisions that are often not as smart as they would otherwise. So interesting play there, well done from both sides. I mean, it was a good attempt from Vikings. They did manage to shake things up for a second, but ultimately, I think, the BossFight defense was just solid.
Yeah, they've held well so far, at least on that objective, but now we are shifting objectives yet again. It is going to be Kayat. So the call-outs from our chat for a cap to happen on Kayat is going to be our primary focus. We're going to be looking for that cap attempt. It looks like...
Yeah, if BossFight doesn't cap on this objective, chat, you're fired.
BossFight, if they cap here, they will take the map and the series. So Vikings definitely feeling the pressure on this defensive round. Gonna have to make sure they are airtight when it comes to defending this objective. So there's not a lot of room for mistakes left as we're getting ourselves into our 5th round.
Yeah, it looks like they get the quote-unquote quick spawn for this objective. It is a bit faster than getting the southwest spawn here. Let's see if they utilize it and use any sort of momentum and aggression to get into the eastern courtyard of the Kayat area and see just how strong they can utilize that momentum. Will anyone peek the barrels? No, it doesn't look like anyone's going to get aggressive on the barrels from the defense. Now BossFight pushing up the eastern street. Radarhead makes his way into the garage.
Yeah, they've stacked the east side pretty heavily. They've just got one on the west for a bit of crossfire, likely just an intel position for now. Just have to make sure. I mean, it is Highfish. He was successful on a solo flank in that mini market, OBJ, when he picked up 4 kills in the early rounds of this map. I think they're hoping to do that same work, but Uncle Sam and Nalik scooping up 2 picks. A revive coming out on the 3rd. Could have been 3 down for BossFight there, and dreams of a cap are dying as quickly as the members of BossFight are. Scooby-Doo going down as well.
Holy smokes, that was intense. Vikings already having shut down pretty much this entire push, and now look at the mini-map. You can see them actually rotating the Titan. The Noose. Legel will find a kill across the street in the far east, but he's going to have problems here as the defense just gets more and more brave. He's got a flanker coming up from around behind him in the south now down the main street.
Yeah, Radarhead's in trouble as well. Uncle Sam, his attention drawn away by that smoke, exactly what Radar needs. If he's going to push this corner, he should do it now. Uncle Sam rotating through. He's going to be hearing these footsteps. Radar tucking in. Is he going to be ready for it? Nalik, meanwhile, picking up Legel. That's going to be the last one left. Radarhead here versus 4. Vikings looking good on this defensive round. Uncle Sam looking for the backside of Radar. The trade coming out. And there it is. Vikings will secure that 3rd round win. A nice little trade.
Yeah, you could hear the disappointment, however, in Radar's voice. Didn't quite feel like a trade to him, but such is the game. And the trade for the win or the loss is always a tough one, because you're like, how is it really decided? Who really won the trade? Do we break it down frame by frame? Well, no, we don't, because casters aren't. That's not our jobs. But
well, in this particular case, there were plenty of Vikings left up.
Oh, that, yeah, of course. In this case, there was no reason. There's no reason for that argument, because yes, there was other defenders left up. However, in those 1v1 situations where you get that trade for the last kill and you're like, did they get it? Did I get it?
Yeah, it is.
We'll never really know.
It is definitely an interesting problem to solve, and not just in this game, but in others.
Hopefully, though, we'll have a new fix to that in 26 days. 26 days, folks. Onward, on quest.
Hashtag 26 days.
Hashtag 26 days. That hashtag will change tomorrow, FYI.
It'll change every day. Roughly every 24 hours. Real rough.
Approximately.
But either way, we're getting into our defensive round for BossFight. This is a do or die for them.
Yep.
They absolutely have to hold this defense, otherwise Vikings come away with the series and the map. Do you think they can hold it? I mean, Vikings held really well there, so BossFight just have to capture that same.
I think BossFight can handle the defense here. They're solid on this map. I've seen them play this map a lot of times, especially through all the postseason events and stuff. They seem to have a pretty solid defense, honestly, on their Kayat. They're one of the teams where I probably worry the least about their defense and getting capped on. But Vikings can also be very sneaky. We'll see. It's really anyone's game at this point, and as we've seen throughout this entire series so far, really anyone can still walk away with it. But this is, as you said, do or die for BossFight. Will they take their first L of the season to Vikings? Vikings
have definitely earned the right to try to win this series. Scooby-Doo, though, will find the first pick here, and we're seeing a bit of a repeat from the other side as BossFight starts with the first pick. Now just 4 members of Vikings remaining. Nalik pushing out, trying to find Scooby through the window. Does. Lonely Viper, though, on the refrag is ready. Just like that, it's a 4v3. Shots ringing out from Legel towards the south side as the rotation from Lone Miyagi comes in. On the south side, he just manages to dodge the bullets there, and now he's going to cross. Will Legel peek in time? No, he won't.
Oh, trouble. Uncle Sam's got a beat on Radarhead in the window. Radarhead sees him, tries to slide out for the shots, but Uncle Sam able to get the pick first.
Now it's a 3v3. Vikings looking a little better here than BossFight were at this exact time. Lone Miyagi's in a great position here. He's gonna catch Legolau crossing the street. No gun up. And just like that, it is a 3v2. BossFight quickly, 1 minute and 20 seconds, losing 3 defenders.
Yeah, and you know, you would think it was because Vikings were more aggressive, but no. In fact, it seems BossFight got real aggressive. I mean, you've seen Lego go all the way west, trying to go as far out as he could, and eventually getting shut down because he dropped his guard a little too much. But either way, an interesting start to this round. Now things have slowed back down again, probably to the chagrin of Vikings here, because they definitely want to slow things back down a little bit and gain control of the map. They already have control. They just probably don't even realize it at this point.
They should have I think they have a kill count of 2, as one was a refrag by Lonely Viper before a call out could come out. So they assume there's probably 3, maybe 4 if communication has not been top notch. BossFight definitely know they're in trouble here. I mean, being this far off of objective is so dangerous. No one's covering that northeast approach. Who's that out in the east there? If Uncle Sam just rotated through all the way north and just walked into Kiat, he would camp absolutely unimpeded. No question. Highfish, meanwhile, just spotted him out. Lone Miyagi on the corner looking for him. Highfish spots him. The bullet trades come out, and it's a full trade. As Highfish and Lone Miyagi, now that is intel that neither team gets. They know they lost one. They don't know that there's -1, but Lonely Viper forced to rotate towards the objective, picked up by a patient Mantis. And just like that...
Yeah, I guess you did.
Just like that, they guess they won. Vikings did indeed win the game, the map, the series. 4-2 there. And what a fantastic game it was. Sleepy, final thoughts on the stuff that we just witnessed?
I mean, there's absolutely zero disappointment here for me. I mean, it was an excellent bout, back and forth the entire way. I mean, we thought one thing in the beginning, then it flipped on its head and the other team took it. We thought map 2 was locked up. BossFight came back with an excellent comeback for the win. We got to go to a series decider on map 3, which went to basically the last round. Obviously, BossFight not able to hold their defense there to secure that 3rd point. But I am not disappointed, and I don't think the folks at home are disappointed. I noticed that we picked up a few new followers to the channel, so I want to say thanks to those people and welcome to the community. If you're not already a part of it, please feel free to join us on the Discord and in-game. Of course, we're always happy to have new folks. But yeah, no, I mean, for there only being one game of the day, this is definitely a game I could say is worth being kind of solo featured on the channel for the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad we could bring it to you guys on this holiday day. Usually the earlier in the day, you know, there's plenty of time to relax and catch some action. So we're glad we're able to bring this to you. Absolutely agree. What a fantastic series. Congratulations to Vikings. Commiserations to BossFight, but a well-fought game overall. I mean, that scoreline is almost as close as it can get.
Absolutely.
A fantastic series overall, but that is going to do it from the desk here today. If you're interested in joining the VR Master League, whether it's Onward, Echo, or any of our other suite of games, we do have leagues for all of that on vrmasterleague.com. Go and check out all the different games that we have. Check out all the streams. Check out our Onward matches as well as Echo and all the other games we've got. I do want to thank our sponsors, VR Cover, Cybershoes, Fixed Gaming, ProTube VR, B-Haptics, and Rebuff Reality. Big thank you to all of those sponsors, new and old, for supporting the league, supporting our players, giving us awesome prizes, and just in general making amazing things for the VR community. That is going to do it here at the desk for this July 4th holiday. Thanks for tuning in to the Season 10 Week 1 Vikings versus Boss Fight. My name is Noman. I was joined on the desk by Sleepy with 2 3s. And with that, we will sign off. Happy Independence Day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.